Hi, it's Dave. If I look a bit hot and sticky, it's because I am. I'm in Singapore and I'm in the open air right now. I'm in a Buddhist monastery, which, if I move the camera around, give you a quick look at what's behind me. It's an amazing, spectacular setting, and I discovered it when I came to Singapore last year. I come to Singapore to visit my friend Christine and her husband Mark and their son, my godson Freddie, and they've also got a new baby called Yasmin. So I come here to see them, and I've just had this opportunity to come out this time because a friend of mine, Ray, was here on business, and he got an extra ticket. So this has been a fantastic chance to just zip out to Singapore, sort of almost unexpectedly, and catch up with them, which has been great. And I discovered this monastery last year, came here and just had a really lovely morning taking pictures and exploring it, and found it a really nice place to come and sit and think as well, which is what I did. And people who know me from before then will know that I sort of came back from Singapore and decided to start getting fit and change my life a wee bit, stop drinking alcohol, and have carried on since then. So it's really nice to come back and just sort of have another contemplate and sit here, which is what I'm about to do after I finish this blog. But it's been a great trip so far. Today, unfortunately, is the last day, flying home tomorrow, and got to spend a little time with Christine and Freddie. But the good news is I'm going to come back. I'm coming back in April for my birthday. Going to go and visit some friends in different places around the world for my birthday because it's the big 4-0. So Singapore is one of my stops, and I'll hopefully get to spend more time with Christine and Freddie then, which will be lovely. And aside from that, this week I've been doing a little bit of shopping, but really not very much. What I've ended up buying, bizarrely, computer things like ink for my printer and stuff you just either can't buy in the UK, or it's not as readily available, or it's just a whole lot cheaper here. So I'll go back with my case stuffed with things for my computer, but nothing very Asian and nothing very exciting either. Had some really nice food while I've been here. Went with Ray to a restaurant last night called the PS Cafe, which I had very good memories of from the first time I came to Singapore to visit Christine, which would have been 2.5 years ago now. And good news is that place is just as good as ever. Really nice food, really recommend it if anybody watching this is coming to Singapore. It's slightly out of town and a wee bit remote, and the taxis don't really know where it is, and I remembered that from last time, and 2.5 years on, nothing's changed. Taxi was creeping along trying to pretend he knew where he was going, and in the end I saw it and said, I recognise those lights, drive up there. But and the same thing on the way back. You order your taxi and then you see these cars creeping around the Dempsey Road area, not really knowing where they're going, which is quite funny. But generally in Singapore, the taxis are extremely efficient. Although I found a bit of a loophole in the efficiency yesterday when the broadband went down at the hotel, and I went downstairs to use the Wi-Fi, which they advertise as being available, and once you've paid for broadband in the room, which I have done, they say it's freely available to you. But the answer, the reality is it heck? It didn't work, and they got first of all they got a lady down to help me, and then they got a technician down to help me, and it took nearly an hour for them to get me online, and I swear we were piggybacking on someone else's network in the end. It was an absolute shambles. And consequently, by the time I actually got online down in one of the common areas of the hotel, I didn't have hardly any power left on the computer, so it was a complete waste of time. It was rubbish. So was a bit miffed with that, and I'll be looking forward to getting back to my broadband at home by Saturday, so that I can use that. So flying all day tomorrow. It's a day flight, which I actually quite like. You leave here at noon, and you get back to the UK about 6:30, 7:15, and you fly all day, so you don't really have to sleep, and then when you get home you can just head to bed and get a good night's sleep, and hopefully won't suffer too badly from jet lag. But as usual, as I always find, eastbound is always the worst. I find it when I come home from the USA, and I found it particularly on this trip. Heading east, always get struck by the jet lag. And yesterday I actually thought I was coming down with some hideous illness. I don't know if I was just being a hypochondriac, but my friends out here have all had flu, so I was starting to wonder if I had flu. And before dinner I was thinking, I don't think I can be doing with any of this, I might just have to head back to bed. but within an hour or two it had passed and I was absolutely fine. So yeah, it was just complete tiredness and jet lag and as usual. But yesterday went to see a funny new thing called Songs of the Sea, which is on Sentosa. Sentosa is a leisure island just off the coast from the main city in Singapore, and you can get there on a cable car or monorail, or there is a causeway so you can drive there too. But Songs of the Sea is a new nighttime attraction that they've built, which involves lasers and fountains, music, projections onto water screens that they sort of spray up into the air, and it's really cool, and Freddie was looking forward to seeing it. And when it started out with quite a dodgy song, and we were sort of looking at each other, going, is this going to be any good? But actually, once it got going, it was magnificent. It was really spectacular. They play lasers into the fountains, and they play lasers into the water plumes, and they do three-dimensional animals and characters and things. And it was really, really impressive. It ends with all this sort of fire being plumed about as well, which was cool. So that was good. Songs of the Sea. And had a look at a 4D film on Sentosa, which wasn't very good. Don't recommend that. But Songs of the Sea, well worth seeing. What else have I done since I've been here? I've kind of done most of the touristy things that I probably would have done. Oh, Night Safari. Did Night Safari on Tuesday night, which is always really good fun. You never quite know what you're going to see because you literally are going around the enclosures in the dark. You can either walk around some bits of it, or the best thing to do is get on the tram and go around, and you have a commentary and you see stuff. And everyone's meant to remain fairly quiet, and you're not meant to flash your camera. But this lady on our tram decided to do her camera flash, which caused outrage amongst everybody else that was on the trip. People started shouting at her, which of course wasn't any good either, because then that disturbed the animals too. But yeah, Night Safari, if you find yourself in Singapore, definitely worth checking out. And before the Night Safari, you can see this fire show, this sort of cultural display where they do stuff with blowpipes, and then they do this amazing fire show where they juggle and they blow fire, which was very impressive. I've seen that before, and I saw it again, and it was just as good as I remembered it. And yeah, that's probably about it for me today. I'm starting to melt. I've forgotten to put any sunscreen on, so I need to go and put that on before I sit in the sun any longer. So I will bid you goodbye from this beautiful Buddhist monastery, and go and have a bit of a think. Okay, speak to you soon. Bye.